So when Nexon announced a new MMO, a new gacha game, you go into it with a certain level of trepidation. This is because Nexon have a terrible track record when it comes to successfully releasing and then subsequently maintaining their games. Looking at the history of Nexon's games over the last 5-7 years, we could see a grand total of 2 successful titles. Maple's Story M in 2018, and then Blue Archive in 2021. Which is why it's actually kind of sad to see a video game that I have actually been actively promoting, not only on my main channel, but also on the Stix channel, as a game that I was genuinely impressed by, visually, aesthetically, but also simultaneously looking forward to. And I know it is on me for trusting Nexon to actually follow through with somehow being a competent developer, a competent publisher, a competent entity. So that falls on me here. But according to a variety of sources, the one we're using today specifically is MMO Culture, Nexon, due to the monumental failure of their soft launch, are no longer going to be actively developing the game. Instead, they're going to be completely shuttering it. Now, looking at the Wikipedia page for Argent Twilight, this was a mobile game. This game soft launched in Malaysia, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, and I mean, I have no idea why, but Canada. So Asia, Canada. I mean, does Canada have a large influx of Asians there that all speak similar language, that can all understand? I don't. Maybe that. Do they translate the game into English specifically for Canada? Because this game was actually not released globally at all. Not in Australia, any kind of oceanic region. Not in Europe. Not in North America. Canada. All right. Now, according to MMO Culture, around 5 months ago, I did my first video on this in, I think, 2021. So I guess I've been actively anticipating this for 2 years now. Wow. So 5 months ago, though, the game launched, or soft launched rather, and as of today, Nexon's confirmed to Korean media outlets that it has stopped development on the gacha mobile RPG with the game's closure imminent. To sum up, the results from the soft launch phase were so horrendous that Nexon decided not to move on for a global launch. Like, can you imagine? Your game is so poorly received that you as a company are like, no, we can't release this because it is going to be an immediate failure. It's going to cost more to just like keep online in the short term than we're going to actually earn in the long term. Like, the people that actually played this, all like 37 of them, hated it with such a passion that to save ourselves the humiliation, we should just cancel the release of the game. That way, we can just write it off and be like, well, you know what? We just felt like after years spent actively developing the game, it just wasn't met with the standard that we were expecting from ourselves as a company. So, with respect to our players, we have opted to, instead of releasing a subpar product, to instead cancel it completely. So, the official explanation was the usual. After internal discussions, the team came to a conclusion that would blah 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 be hard to satisfy users. I'm going to be honest here, Nexon, you have failed throughout your entire history. Okay, well, let's say since like 2007 to satisfy any of your users. Now, if I were a petty man, and I'm not, I would admit that I do genuinely feel bad about the wives of the higher ups here that have failed to satisfy any of their users, anyone in their player base. Because if you can't satisfy guys that literally only need booba thrown in their face, what hope do you have of satisfying someone with exponentially higher standards? We previously tried Argent Twilight when the soft launch version came out, and it was so bad, so lacking in features, that we didn't even bother to explain in more detail, since there really is no redeeming factor at all. And did you know that the game was crafted using Unreal Engine 4? Unreal indeed. Well, I mean, wow, we thought the game was so bad, we didn't even want to elaborate. I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. That's a bit of a failure on MMO Culture's part here. If you're gonna slam, if you're gonna criticize the game, at least give your reasoning as to why the game was as bad as it is. When I do my worst gacha ever series, I talk about the positives and I talk about the negatives. If a game is purely positive, then I will note that. But if a game is purely negative, I will note the reasons why I believe it is negative. I'm not just gonna say this game is so bad. You just trust me, bro. Now, it is always kind of sad to see a potentially good game get shut down, get canceled, do poorly, but at the same time, this is Nexon and they kind of deserve it. So, I mean, you know what, Nexon, maybe just step up your game and actually make better games. Then people will actually want to play them. I know it's a hard concept to wrap your head around, but you know what, maybe one day you'll learn. Until then, if Argent Twilight is not your thing, absolutely no problem. I completely understand why. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now. One featuring a brand new gacha game that is launching into their final closed beta test. The other featuring a list of every upcoming gacha game release slated for February 2023. Both videos you absolutely need to check out.